Hi, I'm Kevin. This is Astro 100. I'd like to get these things going a little bit earlier, but producing thumbnails, sometimes it's harder than it should be. But today we're talking about the Houston Astros and Jason Castro. So for 8 innings, Clayton Kershaw owned the afternoon. Then Jason Castro got the last word. This is Astro 74, and today we're going back to August 23rd, 2015. Minute Maid Park, Houston, and the LA Dodgers, with Jason Castro behind the plate. Offensively, Castro spends most of the afternoon getting swallowed up by one of the best pitchers alive. But this game belongs here because of what happens when that pitcher leaves, and because of what Castro had already done in this series. The Astros came in at 68-56, first in the American League West. Texas was chasing them. Houston surprised baseball by getting good, ahead of schedule. But by late August, nobody could call it a cute story anymore. Now the division mattered. The Dodgers were 67-55, and they led the NL West, with Clayton Kershaw and Zack Greinke giving Houston exactly the kind of measuring stick that it needed. And Houston already took the first 2 games. Friday was ridiculous. Mike Fears, acquired from Milwaukee only a couple weeks earlier, threw a no-hitter. Jason Castro caught all 27 outs. And Saturday, the Astros beat Greinke 3-1. So Sunday isn't just, can Houston win another game? It's more like, can this young club sweep a first-place Dodgers team after seeing Fears, Greinke, and now Kershaw in the same weekend? If you're watching Houston in 2015, when do you finally stop saying they're ahead of schedule and just admit that they're good? Castro was born June 18th, 1987, in Castro Valley, California. Yes, Jason Castro was literally born in Castro Valley. Baseball occasionally writes jokes before anybody gets there. Boston drafted him in the 43rd round out of high school in 2005. He didn't sign. He went to Stanford instead. He developed into one of the country's better college catchers, hit .376 with 14 jacks and 73 RBI as a junior. Then he helped Stanford reach the College World Series. Houston took him with the 10th overall selection in the 2008 draft. And Castro arrived before the Astros most people remember now. Before Correa became a star, and before Houston became part of permanent October furniture. Castro debuted in 2010 and singled off Tim Lincecum in his first major league at bat. Then his career immediately took a vicious turn because in spring training 2011, he tore the ACL in his right knee and 835 OPS. He was Houston's lone all-star in his first American League season. The offense backed up some after that, but Castro became very important in another way. He was a very good receiver. He was a strong pitch framer, and by 2015, Houston trusted him with this young staff. That season, he'd eventually become a Gold Glove finalist, throw out 32% of base runners attempting to steal, and start 102 times behind the plate. And here's what I like about his place in Astros history. He lived through the ugly part. 3 straight 100-loss seasons. That happened around him, and he was still there when the thing started to work. So how much extra credit do you give a player for surviving the rebuild, instead of just arriving for the parade? Unrelated, there's an astrophysics simulation code called Castro. It models stellar flows, gravity, and nuclear reactions. Nothing to do with Jason. I just enjoy Astro 74 becoming an episode where Castro means catcher or software. So Lance McCullers Jr. is making his return to the Astros rotation after a short trip to Double-A to manage workload. He's only 21 years old here. Across from him, Sammy Kershaw. And in the first inning, Los Angeles gets McCullers right away. Chase Utley doubles with 1 out. McCullers' curveball gets away from Castro. Utley takes third, and Justin Turner brings him home with the sacrifice fly. Dodgers 1-0. Castro's job's not easy. McCullers' curve is It's designed to finish in the dirt. Hitters hate it. Sometimes catchers hate it too. And Houston can't do much with Kershaw. Jose Altuve gets hits, but Kershaw keeps erasing trouble. He doesn't allow a runner beyond first till the 5th inning. Then Los Angeles makes it 2-0. A.J. Ellis doubles with 2 outs. McCullers buries another curve, and Ellis moves to third. Then another one gets away, and Ellis scores. 2 Dodgers runs, 3 McCuller wild pitches. Castro's wearing the consequences. And for a while, this episode starts trying to become an episode about Clayton Kershaw. I'm going to let it. But Kershaw is nasty here. But in the 6th, it starts to get interesting. Altuve singles, Carlos Gomez singles, Carlos Correa hits a ball through the middle, clips Kershaw, and brings Altuve home. It's 2-1. Then Gomez, remember Carlos Gomez? He tags from second on a Jed Lowry fly ball and challenges Yasiel Puig's arm. He makes third base. Then Gomez decides third's not enough. With Evan Gattis hitting, he breaks off for home plate as Kershaw comes set. Kershaw steps off, throws to A.J. Ellis, and Gomez crashes into him. Out. Houston challenged, but the call stood. What do you think, though? Down 1 against Kershaw? Do you like that aggression from Gomez? Or did that just take the bat out of the RBI leader's hands? Kershaw responds like Kershaw. In the 7th, Gattis doubled to lead off. Kershaw fell behind Marwin Gonzalez, 3-0, then struck him out. Then he fell behind Chris Carter, 3-0, and struck him out too. Jake Marisnick goes down swinging, the threat's gone. Kershaw finishes 8 innings with 1 run allowed and 10 strikeouts. Meanwhile, McCullers gives Houston exactly what it needs. 7 innings, 2 runs, 8 strikeouts. Chad Qualls works a clean 8th. In the 9th, Houston has to deal with Kenley Jansen. Correa leads off with a single, and now the building wakes up a little bit. Jansen gets Lowry's replacement, Luis Valbuena. He gets Gattis. Houston's down to its final out. Marwin Gonzalez swings at the first pitch and shoots a single into right. Correa scores. Now it's 2-2. 1 out from preserving Kershaw's win. The Dodgers have blown it. Tony Sipp and Vincent Velasquez get Houston through the top of the 9th. Luke Gregerson handles the 10th. Bottom 10. Chris Hatcher strikes out Marisnick, and here comes Castro. Castro's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. He spent the afternoon handling McCullers' curveball. He already caught a no-hitter earlier in this same series, and now he can end it. Hatcher misses with 2 pitches. It's 2-0. Then he throws Castro a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Castro goes the other way. Left field, Crawford boxes. The ball clears the wall, makes contact with the fan, and kicks back out onto the field. Is it a home run? Everyone thinks so, but then everybody's got to wait. Crew chief review. The replay shows the ball was going out regardless of any contact. So it's confirmed. Jason Castro's 11th home run of the season is a walk-off. Astros 3, Dodgers 2. It's a sweep. Afterward, Castro said anybody can beat anybody on a good day. What mattered was Houston playing good baseball and sweeping another first-place club. A.J. Hinch focused on something that feels even more revealing about the 2015 Astros. You had to get all 27 outs against them. Kershaw dominating the first 8 innings, didn't poison the 9th. Houston kept playing the next at-bat. Lance McCullers also went out of his way to defend Castro on those wild pitches. He said the breaking ball in the dirt was where he wanted it, and that Castro was sacrificing himself trying to keep it in front. That's catching. 3 wild pitches, 2 runs around him, and the pitcher still says, the catcher, he did his job. So 2 days earlier, Castro caught Fear's no-hitter. Now he walks off Kershaw's team. It's a pretty good weekend. So Houston didn't cruise to the AL West title. Texas caught him in September and won the division. But the Astros did finish 86-76 and took the second AL wildcard. Then they went to Yankee Stadium and beat New York 3-0 behind Dallas Keuchel. In the ALDS against Kansas City, Castro had another moment. In Game 3, he delivered a 2-run single that helped Houston win and move within one victory of the ALCS. But they didn't get it. Houston blew a 4-run 8th-inning lead in Game 4, then lost Game 5 in Kansas City. The Royals, of course, went on to win the World Series. The Dodgers recovered from this 5-game losing streak. They finished 92-70, won the 3rd straight NL West title, and met the Mets in the NLDS. That one also went 5 games. New York beat LA in Game 5 at Dodger Stadium. Both teams reached October, and both seasons ended in a winner-take-all division series game. Castro played one more year in Houston, then he signed with Minnesota. He spent 3 seasons with the Twins, although another right knee injury held him to 19 games in 2018. In 2020, he split the short season between the Angels and the Padres, then the story curved back home. Castro returned to Houston in 2021. He wasn't the everyday catcher, but in ALCS Game 4 at Boston, his 9th-inning RBI broke a 2-2 tie and helped trigger a 7-run inning. Houston won the pennant. His final season was 2022, and his final major league swing is almost too neat. June 29th, Citi Field. Astros and Mets scoreless in the 9th. Castro hits a 2-run homer. Houston wins 2-0. And he already knew his knee was hurt. The injury required surgery and ended his season. Castro couldn't play in October, but he was there when Houston won the World Series. He later called the championship the perfect culmination of his career. He retired that December. 12 major league seasons, 97 home runs, 1 all-star selection, and 5, count 'em 5, knee surgeries. So for a guy who survived the rebuild, missed Houston's first title after leaving, then came back for the second, that's pretty satisfying. So next time we're leaving Minute Maid Park and going to MetLife Stadium. October 19th, 2025, Carolina Panthers, New York Jets. The final score is 13-6. Bryce Young leaves with his ankle injury, and this isn't what you'd call an offensive masterpiece. But J.C. Horn picks off Tyrod Taylor twice. One of them is a one-handed interception in the end zone, so Panther 3 is J.C. Horn, and we're watching a game where Carolina's defense decides 6 points is enough. So Jason Castro wasn't the biggest star in the 2015 Astros. He wasn't even the biggest name in this game. Kershaw was better for 8 innings. Correa started the 9th-inning rally. Marwin tied it. But baseball doesn't care who had the best afternoon when somebody walks the game off. So on October 23rd, 2015, Jason Castro caught 10 innings, absorbed McCullers' breaking stuff, went hitless through his first 3 at-bats, and then put 1 fastball into the Crawford boxes. That's Astro 74, Jason Castro. I'm Kevin. Thank you for watching, and I hope you'll watch another one.